Greetings, my friends, and welcome to another episode of the Maybe Pile podcast. I am your host, as always, Kiryoku Wrights, accompanied by my friend and colleague, Tony. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm about as happy as a butcher's dog.
Fantastic. Oh my god. It feels really, really good to be back and recording again.
Oh, yeah?
After that little absence.
Yeah, so as the readers will, or listeners, readers? What the hell? Anyway, okay.
We'll release a novel at some point.
Oh, yeah, totally. You and me. NaNoWriMo this year. You and me collabing a story. I've got the perfect hook right here for you. You and me. We can do it. I've got the whole first act laid out in my thought process bubbles.
Fantastic.
No, yeah, we haven't recorded a live episode so far in like almost a month now. It feels like.
I think it has been. I don't know. Like you said, it sure feels like it has been. I was laid out because I was sick and I got tested, came back negative, thank goodness. But that didn't mean I was not sick, and sick I was.
Came back negative for COVID, but oof, you're positive for a whole lot of other things, aren't you?
I'm still not even 100%. I'm like a solid 97 right now, and it's just it's oh my god, it laid me out so bad, man. I couldn't. I went to the. Excuse me. I went to the urgent care, and they were like, and like the lady there was like, "Yeah, I've been seeing this like going around. It's just like a flu-like virus, is all it is." Mm-hmm. And it's like, I mean, she described my symptoms, to a T. She's like, okay, you probably don't feel too bad right now because it's been a few days. Your COVID results came back negative, which is good. A lot of other people's have as well. Obviously a good thing. But I can hear it in your voice that your congestion is just hanging there. And she said it'll hang there for a few days until it finally gives up and goes away. And it finally went away today. Like, today has finally been like, okay, no more congestion whatsoever. I can freely breathe. Tiny bit of coughing, but nothing other than that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is definitely the time of year where I'm also like afflicted by random stupid allergies and coughs and things like that.
Yeah.
I've got managed asthma, and it gets to the point where like when all the trees are like, yep, time to start putting out the sex dust, I'm like, all right guys, could you just like stop, just don't, please? That'd be great. I would like to be able to breathe during this time, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, that congestion, it felt like there was gravel in my sinuses.
Oof.
Like, I couldn't breathe through my nose whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It was just completely stuffed up. It was disgusting. I hated it. I hated it so much. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter what I did. Like, I took like maybe 3-4 different decongestant medicines, obviously like each every different day, to see if it would help. And I took like nasal spray, and it didn't touch it. Like, it shook it right off. It just wouldn't work. So, I guess the doctor, she gave me like some antibiotics, and those seem to be helping. So, there you go. Kind of weird. It's viral infection. Right. She gave me antibiotics, which are for bacteria and not viruses. But whatever. Whatever. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to medical school for 5 years. I don't know.
I think there's something about that with like over-prescribing antibiotics for viral things. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I think I've seen tweets about how this is a problem in the industry or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to even begin to know. Well, I kind of do. If there's something I like can be educated about my own health practices to like avoid in the future, sure. But like, I am not an expert in this field. So if anybody else is out there who's like, no, Anthony, actually, you're completely and totally right. What they find is that a study out of Purdue actually showed that, Purdue University or whatever.
I just, I assume it was for whatever was causing the congestion itself. That's what I think it was about. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But whatever. I have had several. I have obviously had several bacterial infections in the past, so it's not like they hurt. So whatever.
You're accustomed to living that nasty boy life.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Nope, I'm not cutting that out.
Oh man, this is my problem. I constantly dig myself a hole. I don't know why I do this. I say things and it's just like, wait a minute, why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. Oh no.
I shouldn't have said that. Why am I saying this? Why did I even say that I'm not supposed to be saying that?
They just
weird.
They just called me Hagrid. I should not have said that. I should not have said that.
Not have said that.
What else have you been up to?
So speaking of not saying things, I've actually been due to the fanaticism of like 5 of my online friends being like super into DuckTales. I started watching the new reboot of DuckTales that came out, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. And it's pretty dang good. I like it a lot. There was a point where the girl duck that hangs out with him, Webby, is trying to talk to one of the friends or whatever, blah blah blah, yada yada, and it's like, okay, I can't remember now. It was something blah blah blah. She's talking to a girl that she was kind of like nervous about making friends with, and she just said something. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I'm still saying this. Why do I keep saying this? I should stop talking. Like moment, and I'm like, ha, good.
You and every politician. Oy.
Oh God! No. I refuse. I refuse to have any bit of politics in this episode because I've gotten so sick of having the constant. Here, are you ready to vote? Are you ready to vote? Are you ready to vote? The Democrats want to do this. The Republicans want to do this. You need to make sure that I'm like, shut up. I am so sick of it right now. Did you know that the UK has a 2-week campaign period?
Oh yeah.
They're only allowed to campaign for 2 weeks before the election for prime minister or something like that, and then there's no advertising. There's nothing else that can be done in those like 2 weeks. And I'm just like, hey, can we get some of that action over here? That'd be great.
It doesn't really bother me. I mean, to me, they're just advertisements. It's like you're going to see advertisements for several different things, be it a product or a person. So to me, it doesn't really matter. It gets tiresome. I won't lie to you. It gets tiresome to see the same adverts over and over again.
Oh, and I completely agree with you that, like, yeah, ads are going to be ads. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can pay for Netflix, you can pay for a higher quality or a higher premium Hulu, you can do whatever. But, it's like, okay, eventually you're going to fall into a device that can't have ad block on it, on a network that you don't have a whitelist of websites to reach and whatnot. Oh, yeah. My problem with this, though, is the fact that I get 5 text messages from unique and different numbers every day telling me about somebody who's doing something that we need to stand up and do something about. And I'm like, as I've said before, it's like, yes, I'm all about fighting and doing whatever, but God damn it, stop fucking texting me. Stop calling me 8 times a day. I am sick and tired of all these stupid tweets. All these texts that I get.
Okay, now that I completely and totally 100% agree with you. I am getting so sick of spam callers, of spam texts. For some reason, these people swear up and down my name is Clarence, which I can guarantee you my name is not Clarence. I don't know anybody named Clarence.
Your name is Karaoke. That's not even close.
That starts with a K, not a C, you assholes. Get it right. Actually, don't get it right, because that would be even more creepy. I did get it. I have gotten a couple texts that call me K, and that is really weird. I'm like, okay, now the spam texts are starting to call me by my name. That's a little strange right there. I changed my passwords after I got that text. But I am so tired of getting these texts and spam calls. It's just like, no, just stop. I'm tired of it. Especially when you're like sick and not feeling well. It's like, this is the absolute last thing I want to deal with right now. Like, put the phone on Do Not Disturb and just watch YouTube. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Like, that's just ridiculous. So, that is something I totally agree with.
I just went through my texts, and by the way, before anybody says, "Oh, why don't you just block them?" Yes, I block every single one of these numbers every time it comes through.
They use spoof numbers.
I received 14 texts over the last week from all these people. Some of these days I didn't get a single text, and that's a good day.
That like averages out to like
texts.
Yeah, that averages out to like 2 a day if you're going by a 7-day week. Okay.
But it's like, but still, I had 4 on the 24th. I don't know why, but yet it's like, I'm like, there's got to be a law about this being almost next to being harassment at this point.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get that it's not one person that's always texting me or one group that's always texting me, but it's every single one of these groups that I'm just like, no, go away. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. And it's like first it was about taxes, then it was about like the census, and now it's about voting. It's like the spam texts have not stopped this year whatsoever. Mm-hmm. They have not stopped at all. It's just one thing after another.
It was like, what was it, back in like March or something, right when everything started dropping, that it was like, oh yeah, they're starting the campaign trail. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be shitting me. No, not in March. Fuck you. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be talk about this negativity anymore. But positivity though, if you want to talk about something positive in my life, unless you had something that you wanted to talk about.
No, throw it out there, man.
Okay. So, you know how like you know how people have like conversations where it's like, "Oh, you haven't seen this thing? You should definitely go see it." Like, you know, I know we have that conversation every episode, but there's sort of that thing that like everybody does where it's like, "Oh yeah, I've never seen that. Oh man, you should totally see this movie." And then it comes along the lines of like something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, I'll go look it up later," or I'll add it to my list, you know, a metaphorical list of like, if I see it somewhere or I happen to, you kind of make that mental note of being like, "Oh yeah, someone recommended that to me and told me that I should, you know, go look into that." But really it's like, you know, you don't actually ever, you know, maybe you might end up seeing it, maybe you won't, who knows. I took it upon myself to actually start a list.
Oh,
so that way I actually have my list of things that people tell me I should watch or read or whatever. Actually, I should rephrase that. It's only watch right now. It's only visual media, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, that syrup is getting to me. It's like,
oh, that's right. You had pancakes before this.
I had too many pancakes before this. It's like I made a stack of like I made what the recipe calls for, but again, the recipe calls to like feed 2 different people.
Oh my.
So I got like halfway through it and I'm just like, ugh, I've made a mistake. But anyway, so my list. I made a list of animated TV shows. I made a list of live action movies. Or I'm sorry, I made a list of TV animated, TV live action, movie animated, and movie live action.
Okay.
So that way it's like, okay, I have all of these things that I want to watch as well as things that people say I probably should watch. And I love how I've got everything set up for me right now. And of course, I'm a massive nerd. So I'm sitting there making a giant spreadsheet on Google Docs. And I just have one huge long list for my TV animated. That's pretty much just One Piece, DuckTales, One Piece, Brand New Animal, One Piece, DuckTales, One Piece, Madoka Magica, One Piece, DuckTales, One Piece, Kippo, One Piece, Infinity Train, One Piece, Midnight Gospel, One Piece, Infinity Train. It's just like nothing but One Piece on this list, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, shit. Never seen One Piece.
It's good. I've spoke its praises on this podcast enough. It's on Netflix.
That's awesome. Doesn't it have like 900 or 800 episodes or more?
It is. Let me scroll down to the bottom of the list. Currently, the arc that they're on right now for the anime is episodes 890 to TBA. So pretty much, yeah, they're at 900 episodes.
Wow. Okay.
And I realized that there was.
If you're looking for something with like longevity, that's going to keep you busy for a while, and there's that.
Oh yeah, and 13 movies.
Bloody fuck.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know it had that many films. Here?
Well,
I'm in the mood to watch an anime. I haven't seen an anime for a while. I want to watch one. Don't know which one though. I dare not ask for a suggestion because I will get bombarded with like literally 50 different animes, all really good according to all my friends, and it's just gonna go crazy.
I think you need a bad anime. I think you need an anime that is not good, that you are satisfied in just being like, nope, I'm walking away. I don't want to watch this anymore.
I have. There was this one anime. Kantai Collection, I think. I never pronounce them right. I think it's Kantai Collection. I started to watch, and I just couldn't get through it. I should go back and give it another go, but it just didn't feel right. I was just like, whatever. I was like, maybe it'll be better, but as the episode progressed, I was like, not really catching my interest. I should go back and give it another go, though.
Is usually, that the boat anime?
Yeah, it's like the girls. I think they like kind of ski on the water because they have like the spirits of not ancient, but they have like the spirits of past battleships. And it's like just water and battles and stuff. I'll have to give it a watch, I guess.
Are there 3 boat women animes?
I think there's a few, yeah. There's definitely more than one. I can say that.
Wait, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, like, the girls embody the ships, like, in Kantai Collection, I think. Mm-hmm. Then you have High School Fleet, which I actually enjoyed for the silliness that it provided. Which is where they actually... which is where they captain the ships themselves, but
kind of a Girls and Panzer.
Yeah, literally, the fan bases compare those two animes all the time.
Okay, because I was just like, I just googled Kantai Collection, and then they're like, oh, Kantai Collection and Azure Lane and Worship Girls. I'm like, are those all? No way. There's no way we have that many women anime girl worship.
There's a fair amount.
What am I looking at here? Because this character looks familiar.
If it's from Azure Lane, you've probably seen them from ads because there used to be a lot of Azure Lane ads, and I've seen that they've now died down in favor of all of the Genshin Impact ads that I've been seeing.
Or the what's the one by Miyohu?
That's Genshin Impact.
Is it Genshin Impact? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've actually started playing it on the PS4, and it is not bad at all.
Nandayo.
I actually like it.
Nandayo.
A lot of people are calling Genshin Impact a ripoff of Breath of the Wild, but I can't actually say anything about it because I've never played Zelda, so I don't know if it is or if it isn't. So, whatever. Hey ho.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I was never like a huge Zelda fan, and everybody got pissed off because I think Sony or PlayStation, one of the two, I mean, same thing, but one of them tweeted out like, "Oh yeah, Genshin Impact," or somebody tweeted out, "Genshin Impact surpasses $100 million in revenue for U.S. consumers." And it's like, oh, that's cool. That means the game's popular.
That means nothing.
And it's like, oh, that's cool, but everybody started saying, oh my god, it's a ripoff, and they got like all pissed off about it. I'm like, I actually like the game.
I heard everybody was like angry about it because it was like it's linked to like Chinese spyware bullshit and whatnot, and I'm just like, no, whatever, dude.
It does have like a program. It has like an anti-cheat program in it, but a lot of games use the exact same program.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of games use that program, or a program like it. It's just an anti-cheat software. It does kind of monitor your system But I mean, I don't. It's not like I have anything on my system I need to worry about. So whatever.
I don't think the phrase, it just monitors your system. I don't like that.
Neither do I. I don't enjoy it.
I think I'm just gonna stay clear of it. Then I'm just no, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it either. I know, no, on the PC, I wouldn't want something like that, but on my console, it's like I don't have anything on there, so whatever. Not that I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. And I guess, of course, Sony made a big stink in their community because people now think that, oh my god, the PlayStation parties are being recorded now, herpa-derpa-derp. But I mean, they've kind of always had the right to record PlayStation parties, and I see a lot of idiots going like, "Oh, well, I'm going to Xbox because this violates my rights," and it's like it's not really violating their rights because you're using their service, so Sony has the right to monitor their service and what goes on when you're using their service. It's kind of a gray area, I think, or it might be black and white. I don't know, but. And also, Xbox does the exact same thing. So you're not really saving yourself any trouble by switching systems. You're actually causing more trouble for yourself by switching systems. So you're better off just sticking with PlayStation or going to PC or something else, because Xbox does the same thing.
PCBB.
And it's not like... I don't know if PC... What?
I said PCBB.
I don't know what that means.
It means PC baby, as in like, hey, PC's better, baby.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't catch it. Discord kept like screwing up on me. I'm like, hey, crap, I can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, no, but it's like, it's not like it I think it records the PlayStation parties, but it's like I'm pretty sure the data is dumped as soon as the party is disbanded, unless somebody hits the report button. So unless it hits the report button, that recording's not going to go anywhere. It's not like Sony can store all of these conversations. That's a massive amount of data that they would have to spend a lot of money to keep.
And I'm not putting this against them I think they 100% have the ability to go ahead and do exactly that you said. But when it comes to like, it's like, well, don't. Then I guess if you don't like it, then yeah, go someplace else. And if they do it too, well, guess what? Don't go there either. And then that's why if this really is a real thing that is happening with PlayStation and Xbox and whatnot, it's like, well, then fuck them both, Yeah,
if you don't like it, yeah.
Go play on the Switch or whatever. Go play on your phone, and take control of like your own internet presence and what you're letting out in the world. Download a VPN. Do scans as to what actually is grabbing information and data off of your computer. Be active and try to understand these things. Uninstall Facebook because Facebook is not that secure. It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, I mean, and I see all these tweetards, and they're just like, it violates my rights, and it's like, again, like I said, not really, and Xbox does the same thing, so don't tell me you're going to Xbox because it's the same thing. They record you too, so it's like, whatever. But again, I'm not worried about PlayStation recording. Sorry, I got a little congestion still. I'm not worried about PlayStation recording my parties because I'm only in parties with friends. I don't get in parties with randoms. So I don't have to worry about somebody reporting the party for whatever reason and some of my vulgarity slipping out and going off to be reviewed or whatever the fuck. I don't have to worry about that shit.
Right.
So it doesn't affect me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
I do not fear that, so whatever. Yeah. What else was it? Yeah, everybody just kind of made like a big stink about it. I'm like, it's really nothing new, so what can you do about it? I mean, one of my friends got really pissed off about it, and he was like, thank God I have a VPN. It's like, a VPN's not gonna stop Sony from recording your PlayStation party.
Yeah. Wait, what the... No, that's not how this works. Unless he literally is talking about a VPN that's baked into his in his router, much like the Raspberry Pi ad blocker device that people are able to set up and use. And if it is, great. That means you wouldn't be able to hear him, because if it's server side that they're recording, you can't control that. They're still going to be able to record you. And guess what? If you're logged into the server location, chances are they also are like, chances are that it's like, okay, these are the people that are going to be connected to this call. And what else is connected to your person? Probably your user data, or your they're going to have your name. They're going to have whatever purchase history you've been at. And it's like, okay, you've probably got some sort of like, you might have logged in on your device to Facebook or to Twitter. So then it's like, okay, they have that information. They have your credit card information. Like, just because they don't know where your IP is doesn't mean they don't know who you might be.
Yeah. The only good thing is that I can safely say I do not have any valid credit card information on PlayStation Network.
You've never purchased anything through the PlayStation Store?
Of course I have.
Well, then they have your credit card information.
No, they don't. You know why?
Why?
Because I only use physical PlayStation cards. I go out to the store and I buy the cards with the code on them.
With cash?
With cash or with a prepaid MasterCard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, maybe. Maybe.
Now, granted, I do know for a fact that my credit card is floating around there somewhere. Of course, I use it. But Sony most likely does not have my up-to-date credit information because I only use PlayStation cards and I pay for them with usually cash.
Yeah. Unless we want to go full tinfoil hat. We can go full tinfoil hat and then be like, oh yeah, but time of purchase, recording of the in-store cameras, knowing your face, facial recognition software, the steel beams can't melt,
If you really want to go through that, fine, but I mean, I really don't give a shit.
And,
but no,
it's like, you got to play that. You got to find that right balance. It's like, yeah, you can't just be, I don't care at all about anything, because you do have to take even just a small bit of security when it comes to internet activity. But you also can't live, your life in a van, hunkered down, constantly connected in and being like, they're tracking me, man. You can't also live your life like that. So, you find a balance that works for you.
My balance is I do what I can to remain private because I am a private person. I like my privacy. Just because I don't like people rummaging through my data or my stuff, whatever. Do I have anything to hide? Of course not, except for all the weird furry porn I watch. That's a joke.
Hey-o.
That's a joke. I'm not a furry. I don't care if you are, but I'm not. But no. I don't have anything like anybody would see. I mean, they would just be bored to death if they saw my search history of Google Images and stuff. I covered this in a previous episode, how my search history is boring. But that being said, though, I also do try to be as private as possible. But I kind of forget where I was trying to go with it. It's like, I know, I live comfortably with the knowledge that I'm not important enough to, keep track of and all this other bullshit. I'm not important enough. I'm just me, I'm just living my life, trying to live the best life I can. I'm not important enough for somebody to, put me under a microscope. I don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my stance on it.
Yeah. And that's the thing that, a lot of people have to remember. It's like, honestly, you probably don't have anything that nobody pretty much cares about. I mean, other than demographics and age, sex, purchase histories, tracking ad revenue or whatever, and buyer shares of the market and things like that. I mean, that's probably the most that people are going to steal or try to buy off of the information that they're able to gather is like, okay, you live here, you drive this car, you happen to like this particular product of chips. You know, we pushed this many ads in front of you on whatever websites you go to. It took you 2 days to then turn around and go buy Taco Bell or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think I've developed a unhealthy addiction to Taco Bell recently, and I'm just like, oh God, no.
I never liked Taco Bell. I've had it like plenty of times, but I just don't have a liking to it. I don't know if it's like the beef that they use or what it is. I just never developed a taste for that particular restaurant.
It's the beef that we have. Me and you, you know, beef.
Yeah, all that tension between us, as you can hear in our conversations.
Gosh dang it, Kay. And you and your ways that you're stuck in. Ugh. Your minute inconveniences to my life.
Yeah. Oh God.
It is.
Now, if I had to pick a restaurant I would probably become addicted to, it would probably be probably a buffet restaurant because I love buffets. Probably Golden Corral is what I would probably fall to for addiction, and that's an expensive addiction too. Golden Corral's not cheap.
I am sickened by Golden Corral.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Okay, so here's where there have been times on the previous episodes where I'm just very much like, yeah, whatever, you know, do whatever you want, man, and be happy, whatever makes you happy. And there's comparisons that it's like, oh yeah, but you have this idea that's like you want extra and you want to live a life of luxury. And in my mind, that can be very pretentious. But me, when I'm super pretentious, it's judging people that go to Golden Corral. That I'm like, I have the worst shame reflex that happens when I like look at people that go to Golden Corral, and I'm just like sickened by like the humanity that crawls its way through those doors. And I'm just like, I got to go to Golden Corral at least once a year to remind myself that I hate it.
Okay.
It is just, the people there are dirty. They're like, ugh.
What is that like the Walmart of restaurants?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like you get like the people of Walmart, you get like the people of Golden Corral. You know, yeah, they're all wearing pants and shirts, but you can cover it up, but it's still there.
I never really paid attention to who I'm sitting around. I usually pay attention to what's on my plate.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know a lot of people who actually hate Golden Corral with a passion. And so tell me, is it the food or is it just the people? Like, is the food really shitty for you, or is it literally
the food
just
is
the customers?
Subpar. I'm just like, the food's fine, I guess.
Well, yeah,
you get what you want.
Go ahead.
But the people are like 100% the problem. I'm just like absolutely sickened and disgusted by like the dredge of society that goes to Golden Corral, or at least the Golden Corral around me, or the ones around me that are just like, ugh.
I've never actually experienced that issue at any of the Golden Corrals I've been to. Yeah. Granted, the Golden Corral that's closest to me is also like an hour away. Mm-hmm. So I hardly ever go there. I actually haven't been to a Golden Corral in like 2 years.
Well, people, there's another clue for you. If you're trying to hunt down where Kay lives, it's anywhere that's more than an hour drive away from a Golden Corral.
Yeah. If this podcast ever gains traction, everybody's going to be like trying to whittle down where I live.
There it is. He's somewhere over there. Just remember, it's definitely upstate New York, guys.
Upstate New York, northern, east coast, whatever.
Exactly.
Somewhere between Maine and Maine, yeah.
Yeah,
that part.
Niagara, or near Buffalo, right?
somewhere up near Greenland.
Over by the Lake Erie.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, that's it.
My speaking of going to speaking of going to places and food, my uncle still wants to take me to Vegas after all this stuff gets mostly cleared up.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
And I am still super excited. He says, I love it too, because he's just like, hey, he just texted me one day. He's like, we were recording with Igor whenever I told you about this the first time. He just texted me out. He just texted me out of the blue like, hey, you want to go to Vegas? I'm like, yes, I want to go to Vegas. Cool, maybe we can stay at Caesars. I'm like, Caesars Palace? I'm like, yeah, of course, Caesars Palace, yes. Las Vegas Strip, you name it. I was like, oh my god, fucking A. That's like a dream of mine, is to go and see Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, eat at the... Now, I want to try the Caesars Palace buffet. I totally want to try that.
Oh, yeah.
So, I want to give that a go, and I want to give... what?
Go ahead. No, it's your turn. Go ahead.
No, please, say.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went through Caesars Palace. I know or was that... I can't remember. But yeah, I walked around Vegas. It was pretty great. I never got to eat at the hotels on the Strip, but I was able to eat at the Ramada? No. The Ramada? No, I'm thinking of... I don't know. I stayed at one of the hotels there, and it was fine.
Cool. I've never been, so I'm like really excited for the first time.
It's a fun place.
I want to give like that buffet a shot because I know it's like $80, $85 or something like that per person. Mm-hmm. So I really want to give that a go if it's going to be that expensive.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm a little bit of a gambler, so I do want to take a crack at the casino. I do want to take a crack at it. I don't play slots, but I want to give it a shot. I just want to give like I want to give a slot machine like maybe 1 or 2 goes just to see what happens. Mm-hmm. You know, just to say I did it. But I generally hate those.
The problem that I ran into when it came to slot machines is that there's no just regular slot machine. It's always got to have a gimmick. It's always got to have like something special going on where it's, a digital something that has extra bits to it. And I'm like, oh my God, no, go away.
Right.
So, 1 second. That's why I always stuck to the tables, because that actually was a little bit better of a this is a game I know, this I can actually sit down and play and do relatively well at.
Yeah, I want to give... that's where I'm going to spend most of my time in Caesars. I can promise you that is at the... probably at the blackjack table, because I'm fairly decent at blackjack. Mm-hmm. And I'm also... I seem to have... Like everybody else, I guess, it's kind of 50-50, unless you're just blessed with it. There's my phone going off again. Is like the roulette wheel. I'm kind of 50-50 on the roulette wheel, so I'll probably give it a go, just red or black, straight up, just be like, okay, let's just see what happens, whatever. So I'll give the roulette wheel like maybe 2 or 3 goes, but most of my money I can guarantee you I'm going to lose at either the straight up poker table or the blackjack table. That's where most of the money is going to be going.
Right, right.
So I'm anxious to see that. I'm anxious to see what happens. Hopefully all this shit gets relatively over soon-ish, so that way we can go there and we can have some fun.
Yeah, right.
So I'm still looking forward to that, because I recently texted my uncle. I was like, hey, are we still doing this after all this stuff is mostly done? And he's like, of course we are. So still looking forward to that. Still happy about it.
Yeah.
So let's see that.
Speaking of people, once this is all over, there's so many people that I know that are planning trips to go do stuff. I've got one of my friends from Minnesota. She wants to come visit me. There's another friend of mine from Vegas that wants to come. Or no, she had a quinceañera party that was down in Tucson that she was going to drive through and see me. There's just so many people that are out there that are just yeah, when this is all over, definitely let's do a trip or something, and let's go do this or let's go see this. And I'm just remember going out? Remember going places?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was funny. Did I tell you about the first movie that I saw in theaters?
I don't think so.
So Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't think we talked about this. So I went out and I was able to get tickets to go see Tenet when it was in theaters.
Right.
And it was, oh man, like, I don't know what like theaters are like around you, but whenever I go out to like go see a movie or whatever, it's always like there's always kids screaming somewhere outside. Like the outside of the movie theater is quite chaotic and hectic. There's always restaurants that are clanging around. There's a cell phone store that people are rummaging around in. There's kids playing on a hill or something outside, just screaming, like working out all their energy before their parents drag them in to go see this movie. There's just like so much noise. There's a car with like loud bass rumbling down the street and shit. I'm just like, ugh, I hate the sounds of being out in public. It's just a cacophony of like just literal noise that just is so terrible and disgusting that when I went out to go see Tenet the Monday after it came out, I parked in my normal spot, kind of back behind the theater so I could take a side entrance and not worry about people crossing the roads and whatnot. And I walk out to like the lobby area or like the sort of courtyard in front of the theater.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. There was nothing. Just silence and a little bit of noise from the freeway just across the parking lot. And I was like, whoa. Weird. And I'm just like, it's like, it is ghost town quiet, just absolutely silent. And I'm just like, oh man, this is so weird. And then I go inside and they're kind of like just playing a playing a trailer, so it's like got noise and whatnot. And I'm like, wow. Also, it was like 1:00 in the afternoon, so like nobody was out and about, and it was a Monday, so nobody was doing whatever. But still, it was just incredibly quiet. And I'm like, geez Louise, this place has never been this quiet.
Wow.
It was really interesting.
That's really interesting indeed. I don't have really those experiences whenever I go to the theater. I don't go to the theater often, but when I do, it's like in like a lake area. It's like on the side of a lake.
Oh yeah.
So there's really not a whole lot. I mean, it's in a busy area, but there's not like all that much noise. Like there's noise from like the roads, the cars, freeway, whatever, and the occasional screaming kids. But other than that, I just never really had that bad of a movie theater experience, thankfully.
Well, it's like it pretty much brought to my mind like the idea of the lone survivor of the zombie apocalypse walking through like an abandoned mall. Normally it's loud and it's got tons of music playing everywhere, and there's some pop stations playing, and people going around and talking, and just noise at like the mall. But then when the lone survivor's walking through it, it's just dead, and you can just hear his footsteps.
Yeah.
When you just hear a bird just flutter away in the distance or something, or it's just crazy how like the shift in acoustics, I should say.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you mean there. Yeah, I don't really know how else to put it. Just you pretty much described it to a T right there. I mean, I get what you mean.
Right. So yeah, there was that.
Yeah, all right. I've never really had that experience. Mm-hmm. Like lone survivor type of esque feel. Never had it.
Yes, I also have never been the lone survivor in a zombie apocalypse.
Well, no, what I meant was the feel of it. Like I've never had that feeling of like silence walking through a normally busy place. I've never had that. So
no,
being in a completely silent movie theater, never. Mm. The mall near me is kind of depressing because it's like dying. So it still has a lot of people in it, but it's like depressing because it's like all of its anchor stores are completely gone. So now it's just relying on like these tiny little shops in between to keep it running. So I don't think it's going to be there in the next few years.
Can you hear that?
Like a little tapping?
No, the engine outside.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
Can you hear the furnace in my background?
Yep.
Damn. Oh well. I can't help that. It's
So I'm
cold.
just gonna wait for them to fuck off.
Can't do anything about my furnace.
Okay, cool. So I'm pretty sure they're far enough away that I don't have to deal with that shitty fucking car. I just hate the neighbor's car, or one of the neighbor's kids' cars. It's like
those damn kids.
It's like, get that piece of shit out of here. Get the fuck off my goddamn road. I'm so sick of hearing your shitty car turn on, rev up, go turn around, and then finally I hear it get louder as it turns away from down the street. I'm like, just fuck off.
When you're 60 years old, you're going to be so fun to hang around.
Oh, God, tell me about it. And all that bullshit that I've had to live with, having to deal with old people around me. And I'm just like, why the fuck are they getting all these free niceties and things like that? Oh, because they're old. Well, fuck them. Just because they're older than me, they get to have nice things?
Such as?
Oh, so, okay. So, like, I fucking hate privilege that comes with being old. When I was living in Seattle for that pest control job that I had, I was hunting everywhere, trying to find an apartment under $1,000 a month. Just under $1,000. That's all I wanted. It was like, okay,
yeah.
I didn't really care what it was, how big it was. Just, you gotta accept cats. I want to be able to have a cat. I don't care if it comes with a deposit or anything like that. I'm fine. Just, you got to accept one single cat, and it's got to be less than $1,000 a month, because that's absolutely ridiculous that rent in Seattle would be above $1,000.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm saying Seattle in general, just everything from, for those who actually want to look at a map, anything from, I'd say, South Tacoma, pretty much to the Army base, all the way to Everett. I was like, okay, somewhere between there. Give me an apartment that's less than $1,000 a month, and I'll be fine. I could find them pretty much anywhere I wanted, but it was only for 55 and up. It was only for people over the age of 55. And I'm like, why the fuck? Why the fuck are you getting a special discounted rate just because you happen to be older? What gives you the right? What gave you the special ability to be able to sit there and be able to have a lower fixed rent rate and not have to fucking fight for everything just like we're doing right now?
Well, usually that's because their bodies are kind of breaking down at that age. You know, it's kind of like where people start to slow down and they can't work.
But that's not the point, though. It's like, okay, yeah, I get that they can't work, so they can't receive an income.
Or at least work as much.
So that's why you have your retirement. That's why you have Social Security. That's why you have plans to be able to pay for things after retirement. Why the fuck do they get a lower price for rent in special areas?
Because Social Security sucks and it doesn't pay enough.
No, because, okay, yes, then that means that your income is lower. Why the fuck does it cost less for you to live somewhere?
There's plenty of senior living areas here around me, like senior apartments that are only 55 and up. Their rent is actually fluctuates, because the rent in the particular place I'm thinking of is income based. So they don't have a fixed rate. It's all income based. So I guess that place probably doesn't count, but it is 55 and up.
But the fact that there are multiple apartment buildings in the greater Puget Sound area that charge less than the average going rate all the way up and down the Sound, just for the fact that they're 55 and up. That's it. It's like, okay, there you can get like $600 a month, $700 a month, $500 a month rent rates. And then that comes with all the extra bits of needing to be in a 55 and up thing. And I'm like, why the fuck are they getting rent for less?
I don't know. I guess you'll have to write the congressman and ask him. I don't know.
It's just absolute.
I don't know.
I just got so angry with it because I'm like, I can't find anything.
I mean, if you're like personally looking for an apartment and that's all you see in the listings, I totally get the frustration. Like, you have every right to be frustrated that you can't find one for that price, and these old geezers are just getting it, regardless. I mean, I totally get that.
It's the exact same thing that happened in Minnesota, where they had an elderly education program for, I think it was like $5 a credit. And I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. So older retired people are able to take a semester and pay like $1, $5 a credit, but yet there are kids trying to get into the school, trying to do this for a job, so that way we can get into the workforce, and so that way we can like start earning money. Who are paying $150 or $50, $100, $150 a credit to take these classes or whatever. I'm like, this is bullshit. The amount of luxuries we offer the senior citizens in our country just because they happen to have been born sooner is absolute bullshit. And there was just one more example of the fact that I'm like, we're giving privilege to the elderly just because they're old. Oh, why are you charging them less? Oh, because it's not like they're going to use it for a job. Okay, then why the fuck do people who are using it for a job have to pay 100, 200 times the price that they're paying?
I can't answer that, but I can say I don't see too much of a problem with offering the elderly these services. I can't say I have a problem with that because their bodies are, like they're kind of, like I said before, they can't work as much, if at all. They're kind of older, maybe a little slower. They do need extra services that we don't need. Like,
and I completely agree with you on that.
Because like,
there are things that they have that, yes, they do need extra services and they need extra help. Okay, then charge for the in-house care, charge for doctor's visits, charge for nurse things. If you're giving a senior discount because you have special senior plates at your restaurant that are in smaller portions because they don't eat so much, that makes sense. But when it's the exact same thing, it is an apartment that you can live in. It is an education that you can use to go off and earn money for yourself. These things that are exact 1-to-1 ratios between me and the senior citizen doing the exact same thing, and they get a discount, fuck you.
I don't know, man. The old people that I know have it pretty rough.
And that sucks because, like, obviously, okay, yeah, getting old, things start to suck a little bit more.
And I don't mean just physically either. I mean financially, you're still suckish because, you can't really earn as much of an income and you have to rely off of Social Security or in any federal / state services that your government provides you.
Of course.
So, I don't know. I'm not really versed in the ways of government
we should help
programs.
them out. In those respects, we should help them out in those exact same things. Like, yes, I do agree that we should have a national retirement fund that is a whole lot better than what fucking Social Security is turning out to be. I believe that, when I retire, I'm not going to have anything for Social Security. I'm going to have maybe $1 a month available to me because Social Security doesn't fucking work. Or we need to drastically change how it does work so that way everybody gets a fair share of it when it comes to their time of retirement or whatever. But it's like, we need to make sure that, there's healthcare and services and things like this to help out elderlies during this time. And there needs to be a situation where we have these areas that we're able to help them live. That way they don't have to just be a burden on their next of kin until they suddenly pass,
Yeah, but I would question, though. Now, I understand that I understand the apartment situation because, if they're living there, nobody else can, because they're living in that area. But if they're taking a class for only $1, $5 per credit, they may be getting it cheaper, yes, but are they taking anything from anybody else?
No.
So that's the reason I don't really see a problem with them getting it for a discount, because it's not like they're taking anything away from anyone else. They're just getting an education.
No, because if you have a classroom that's able to sit, like let's say there's a lecture hall that can hold 100 people, 200 people, whatever. And obviously not every single chair in that area is going to be filled. It's not more difficult for a teacher to present the class. It is more difficult for them to grade all the papers and, do the back end stuff for all those students. But when you are delivering the exact same product, it's like, okay, everybody that walks through this door, I'm going to hand them a box. Everybody wants the box, and I'm going to give them a box. Now, everybody has to pay for this box because I'm not going to do this for free. So it's like, okay, that'll be $100. That'll be $100. That'll be $100. Here's your box. Here's your box. Here's your box. An old person walks in and says, I'm old. I want that box for $1. Please give that box to me for $1. Okay, here's your box for $1. Everybody else that's also sitting there for the exact same box, it's the exact same thing that's being delivered to them. It's the exact same product, but yet they're sitting there having to pay $100 for the box, and then these old people get the exact same thing for $1. They're going to be just as pissed off, because then we have a discrepancy in perceived value. Then we have a problem with, it's like, okay, why can't you give me the box for less? And that's also an argument that I brought up as well when I first found out about this, was the fact that it's like, okay, you have old people getting a discounted rate for this box, an extremely discounted rate. So why can't you just give somewhat of a discounted rate to everybody else? Why is it that everybody, everybody who's going to college has to go into debt for life? As John Mulaney says, give them $162,000. It's like, why do we have to go into such debt when these people are able to just, play around and have fun and just go to class and, pretend to be young again? Why?
Okay. Well, I obviously, again, can't answer that completely, but I will say is that you can't give the box to everybody for $1, because that box costs most likely a lot more than $1 to produce. So they're probably taking a loss when they're giving that to them for $1. So they need that $100 to make up for the loss and to also keep giving boxes out. And I don't know what they're using. I don't know what the individual case-by-case basis is of what these elderly people are using their education for. Maybe they're going out to get a job. Maybe they're just using it for like some form of amusement. I don't know what they're doing.
No, all these people that were taking these classes were taking the classes as a way of just being fun and having. They're all retired. They all don't need to go earn an education or earn away anymore. Everyone that they interviewed was sitting there and just taking it fun. We just want to keep our minds going and stay sharp. Like, okay, then why? It all just comes back to money for me. And it all comes back to the idea that it's like, okay, these people are getting these handouts that people kill or would kill for, It's like, yeah, you can get rides and scholarships to these schools and whatnot, but for people who weren't able to get that, they're stuck high and dry. They're off getting loans and whatnot that they got to pay back.
I don't agree with the going into student loan debt, and I don't agree with that. I do think that these schools completely overcharge, disgusting amounts of money. That's why I didn't really go to college, because I don't really feel like paying, $100,000-$300,000 worth of student debt. That's a little exaggerated, but for the stuff I wanted,
that's a little under exaggerated.
I mean, how many people do you know that owe $300,000 in student loan debt?
Quite a few.
What kind of degrees did they get?
Like, ASU is a top-of-the-line school that actually I can probably bet I could go down the list of everybody I know that went to college, and they probably have a good $200,000 worth of debt.
Okay, so 200,000. We'll just say 200 grand. Yeah, I don't really need to do $200,000 of student debt. Of course, that's my privilege. Not that I'm wealthy or anything. I just am in a certain position where I don't require that. But I don't agree with the fact that you have to pay that much. Where the fuck is all this money going? I know you got to pay your professors. I know you got to pay the college upkeep and everything. And they have a right to make profit, which of course they do. A college is a business, so of course they have the right to profit. But I do agree that they are just grossly overcharging. But I just don't see a problem with giving cheaper education to the elderly. I just can't say that I see a problem with that. I just can't say that I see an issue with it. Even if they are just using it for fun, which, again, I'm pretty sure it's a case-by-case basis. I mean, all the people that they interviewed were just doing it just to do it. But if you were offered education at any age, if you were offered education for $5 a credit, I'm pretty sure just about anybody who wants to forward themselves would take it. Because it's cheaper education, so I'm sure just about anybody would accept that happily.
Oh, yeah, and I don't fault them for taking the opportunity. I'm faulting the administration and the people who sat there and said, oh yeah, that's fine. This is 100% okay. We're going to give these people these classes for $1 or $2 versus, and still charge regular people that are just trying to, feed themselves for the rest of their life and have a decent life ahead of them. We're still going to charge them the full price because guess what? We can fuck you.
I don't know. I'm not in the higher education administration, so I really don't know the answers to all that.
Yeah.
So I really don't know.
Yeah.
The current system administration, it has its perks and it has its flaws, just like any system of education, government, any type of administration. They all have their perks and their flaws.
Right.
So if the elderly get a couple more perks, whatever. I don't really care. They lived most of their lives. They're older. They're slower. I don't give a shit if you help them because you do have to help them anyway. So whatever.
Says you.
Says me. But that's what I says.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was incredibly mean of me to say. But no, I get it. All right. But,
yeah. I don't know. How long have we been going? We've been going...
For an hour.
Wow, an hour. Not bad. Not bad for the first time back in a month.
Went by like nothing.
Yeah, always. Started watching Legend of Korra. I like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've only gotten to like the second episode, so I haven't gotten too far in. But from what I see, I like it.
Oh, yeah. It's highly rated, and people absolutely love it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's sarcasm or if you're actually meaning that.
No, people actually do really, really like Legend of Korra. It was a good show while it was on.
All right.
And people really enjoyed how it continued the narrative of the world of the Avatar.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just couldn't tell if that was sarcasm or not. Now, obviously, I know. I was just like, okay, because I know, I know there's a lot of people that don't like it, but I actually didn't. I didn't mind it, so I'm anxious to rewatch it and pay attention to the detail and stuff now. Because when I first watched it, it was completely spotty. Like I didn't pay attention.
You've seen all of Last Airbender as well, right?
Every single episode, beginning to end, credit to credit.
Right on. Cool.
I absolutely adore that show, and that's what I aspire to create. Because it's awesome. Yeah. Alright, what else do we got here? Don't really have a whole lot else to throw out unless I can pull something out of my rear.
Let me double check. Where's my phone? There it is. Let's see if we had any questions.
May as well.
$5 says no.
Oh well. Let's see. I see Apple is funding a lot of new interesting TV shows. At least they look
I
interesting.
don't fucking care. Not to say that like I'm telling you to shut up or anything, but it's like, no, Apple, shut up. Fuck off.
I never really cared too much for Apple.
I have been staunchly opposed to Apple and all of their policies for the longest time. They are They have anti-competitive law or practices that are absolutely atrocious. They have stifled the right to repair initiative. They have contributed negligently to the massive e-waste problem that we have. They have done next to nothing to answer for their terrible work conditions and the rampant suicide problems at their factories. They've done nothing to help the problematic product or the problematic conflict materials that have been used in their products, and everybody just sort of goes like, yeah, but it's Apple, they're cool, right? Fuck off.
New iPhone.
It's all the rage and I've just gotta have it, right? Fuck you.
It doesn't even have any... I don't even think it has any new features, does it?
It has a bunch of new features that have been a part of Android since 5 years ago.
I am Android all the way, mostly because I prefer the more... I don't know, I just prefer the more rugged nature of Androids. Like, I have dropped this thing on concrete so many times, and it's just not a single scratch, dent, or anything in this phone. Yeah. But if you drop an iPhone on like fucking carpet from an inch, it just like shatters. It's like I don't like the build quality of the iPhones.
Well, how dare you drop phones? I mean, that's clearly your fault. Why would you drop your phone? Why would you that?
I just thought it was something to talk about.
Yeah.
I forgot. I remember I messaged you this, and I don't blame you for forgetting because it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about that crazy Flex Seal lady. So
Flex Seal lady?
Yeah. And, of course, the people on... No, I already told you about the people on the roof, didn't I?
No.
I sound like a crazy person. So, at my work...
I told you about them. I told you about the people on the roof. The people on the roof are back.
You told me what?
I told you they're back. They're back.
Cocaine is one hell of a drug, kids. So, what...
Never smoke crack.
No, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. But what happened was, I was at my job, and I thought I already talked about the guys on the roof. I don't know. I was at my job, and I was just hanging out, and the waitress comes back, because I'm in food service, and the waitress comes back, and she's like, I need somebody to go outside with me. And I'm like, okay, why? And she's like, there's people on the roof. Like, she just says it casually as she's shrugging her shoulders. And we're all like, what do you fucking mean there's people on the roof? She's like, there are 3 people walking around on our restaurant's roof. I'm like, okay, let me take a look at this. So I go outside, and... Well, I didn't go outside. I stayed in because I was just doing something else. And surely enough, 3 fuckers walking around on the roof. This is what they told me. I saw them, like, getting off. 3 fuckers walking around on the fucking roof. Clearly just wasted, like, drunk out of their fucking minds. And the waitress is like, what the hell are you guys doing up there? Like, we threw a sandal up here. We're trying to get our sandal back. And it's like, get off the fucking roof and go away. It's like, we don't know why they threw a sandal. We don't know why they thought it was a good idea to climb up on our roof and try to retrieve said sandal. Mm-hmm. And it just, they kicked him out. So it's like, rightfully so. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand what their thinking process was, but when you're drunk, I guess that's just the way it is for them anyway. So what the fuck is my phone going off about? So there was that experience of people on the roof. And then there was my mother's experience with a crazy lady that has been in her store several times now. One time she I guess she took paper towels off of the store shelf, and she thought she was going to replace the paper towels in the store's bathroom, which obviously that's not your responsibility, nor are you supposed to take product off of the shelves, open it, and stick it on there, especially without paying for it. Obviously not. Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, no, just you're not supposed to do that, just leave. So I kicked her out for a day. See, I gotta take a drink. And she comes in like a couple weeks later, a week later, I don't know how long. She comes in a little later. And she gets, a lot of stores, they'll have like that shopping cart with like the squeaky wheel. Mm-hmm. Well, she got the cart with the squeaky wheel. And I guess she didn't like that. So she takes it back to like the hardware section of the store. She takes a bottle of Flex Seal, doesn't pay for it, takes it off the shelf, cracks it open, sprays Flex Seal on the shopping cart wheel, and just proceeds with her shopping just completely normal, just pushing around the store, no problem at all the while leaving this black, this black strip of Flex Seal that is being painted on the floor all over the fucking back of the store.
Which way should she go? That way?
Just follow the black trail, man, and you'll find her. It is like, first, there's so many things wrong with this, okay? Why Flex Seal and not like WD-40? Why not oil? If you're going to do something stupid, at least try to make yourself seem smart. But no, Flex Seal, which would do the opposite of what oil would do. Mm-hmm. And then proceed to drag the shopping cart all over the back of the store as it's painting the floor with a strip of Flex Seal. And it's still back there. They can't get it off the floor. It's still there. Because I guess by the time they found out what she did, the Flex Seal had a chance to like sit and harden and get in there. So, it's still there. They can't get it off.
Jesus.
And so, I was like, as I asked my mom, I was like, did you guys like ban her from the store? Like, you might want to do something. And they're like, no, she's like, apparently she's been banned from all the other stores in the area. I could only imagine why. Mm-hmm. And I guess they don't have the balls to do it, so they're just going to let her keep doing her escapades until I guess she pushes it too far, then she's going to be banned from that store too. It's like Flex Seal. Why? Why Flex Seal of all things?
I stuck this shopping cart to the floor.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the cart. I don't know if they cleaned it off or if it's like thrown away. I don't know. I don't know what happened. It was hilarious.
The cart's gone. A tile is gone.
Yeah, when my mother was recounting this story, I was just like laughing because it was hilarious just to see this lady, just to hear about this lady, just going about her day completely normal except for just these little moments of hers. It's hilarious. Unfortunate because she does it, but hilarious after the fact. It's so strange. Mm-hmm. There was that. Not really a whole lot else, I guess, except for this one. So when Corona was like in full swing, COVID, when it was in full swing, there was this one like Karen lady, I guess. One of my contractors that was working on my bathroom was shopping with his wife, and he coughed in the store, and this crazy lady sprays him in the face with Lysol.
You can't do that, ma'am.
Like,
that's assault.
Like, why? Why would you do that? Like, right in the face.
That's assault.
Yes, it is. So I don't know what happened, like, with any of the legal repercussions, but that was just something else. I'm like, people are so dumb. Like, it's so fucking stupid just to listen to all this shit. And I think I already told you about the fat British guy throwing his pizza. I think I already told you about.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, okay, that was the one I told you. Yeah, it was
as well as cold. The two guys getting fired for not
yeah.
Smoke break.
Yeah, they didn't even smoke. I don't even think they smoked. They just like straight up left. And it's like, don't run away. There's nothing forcing you to stay there. Just have the balls to quit. But yeah, whatever. Yeah. And my work did recently want me to like work 11 days straight, and I told them I just couldn't do that.
Yeah, right.
Well, because the manager, and he's like not a bad guy. He's trying to do his best, but I think he's trying to like do that for everybody or whatever. But whatever. So he's like, "Hey, can you give me like a full 7 days this week?" And I'm like, "Well, no, because tacking that onto the 4 days I just worked would make it 11 days in a row. I'm sorry, I can't do that." So he tried to tack me on for an extra day on top of my normal work week, and I was like, okay, an extra day, whatever, fine. I only work a few days a week anyway, so making an extra day, not a big deal. But then I got sick, like really fucking sick. I got laid up for a couple weeks, and then I couldn't work at all, so I don't know how it worked. I don't know what the story is now. I'm not sure. I go back to work like on my normal schedule this week, so... And that place has become a revolving door, so I'm anxious to see who's there and who's not.
Yikes.
And if they ever listen to this podcast, I'm probably going to get some weird looks. Huh. Like, what are you saying about me? What are you saying about me? It's like, whatever. No, I actually enjoy everybody I work with out there, to be perfectly honest. I actually have a respect for all of them. But, yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be there, man. I'm getting at my ropes, at the end of my rope, my wit's end, you know. I'm getting tired of it. Honestly, if I didn't have car repairs to do, I would have quit. But I got to repair my car. It's sitting up at the shop right now with a bad trailing arm and bad brakes.
Yikes.
And the total is going to be like $450 to $500 to fix. So
That's no good.
So I gotta pay that, which, I mean, I can pay that, that's not a big deal, but to replenish the funds after the fact, I gotta get a couple of paychecks saved up, so, but if I didn't have to do that, I wouldn't be there. So I don't think I'm gonna be there past another couple weeks or so, and then I'm probably gonna turn in my resignation in GTFO, because I'm getting tired of it. So, yeah, there's that.
Cool.
Right
on.
We still have that store that's opening also, by the way. We finally have like an opening date. We're opening on Black Friday, November 27th.
Cool.
So we are going to be open then, which is why I'm leaving my current job in the first place, is so I can go and run that.
Nice.
So we're going to do our thing. So I'm anxious to see what's going to come of that.
There was a buddy of mine that I recently went and had a beer with safely. He was telling me about this this opportunity that he has for this guy he knows is opening up a local game store that he wanted him to come and help him run and whatnot, or I think that's what he said or something. I don't know. And I'm just like, oh, nice, cool. So yeah, there's a couple of people I know that are just like trying to start new stores and get places.
Yeah. Apparently the guy that I'm opening the store with, he according to his stats, I guess, he feels that brick and mortar is like on the rise again because people actually like going out and going to stores and like, you know, seeing the products that they're buying versus looking at pictures on, you know, online.
Mm-hmm.
And which I totally agree with, especially if you're buying something like clothing. If you're buying something like clothing, unless it's just like a graphic tee or something, you probably want to actually see it, try it on, see if you like it. You'll probably want to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why people want to do stuff like that. Gaming stores, people just like going in. They probably enjoy the atmosphere and see, especially if you're buying electronics, you probably want to see it, make sure it's in good condition, you know, sealed in the box, you know. You probably just want to see stuff like that, so I can see why people would enjoy brick and mortar still. So I think this is going to work out really well, and I see a lot of people, like you said, you know, a lot of people trying to open up stores and businesses and so on and so forth. So I best of luck to all of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I finally got back into my writing vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I was actually writing a little bit before we got on the call here, and it feels so fucking good to get back and to be able to do that. Because when I was sick and laid up, I couldn't do anything. I was like, well, maybe I could try to pass the time by writing, and I just no, trying to focus on something, it was just not happening. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. No, not at all. So
yeah, I can imagine how like being sick would definitely take it out of you, take literally everything out of you.
You wouldn't expect it to like, oh, well, just write and pass the time, be creative. It's like I can't be creative when I'm just like feeling like shit. I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Like it's just the muse is not flowing.
Oh yeah, and you don't want to force it either. And
no, because if you force it, you're gonna feel like shit because what you're gonna make is gonna be shit. And you're going to have to scrap it, which makes you feel even worse because you put effort into that, and it's just a whole load of crap. So you don't want that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. That's about all I got. So, what do you have anything you want to throw out there before we end this?
No, not really. I mean, I don't really have anything going on right now in like the public's sector either.
Okay.
Most of the steps and things that I'm excited about are more in my private life and whatnot. Though, if anything comes of them, then I'll definitely let you know. But as of right now, I got next to nothing.
All right. Well, in that case, we can just end it off here. Thank you to everybody for listening, and please click the subscription bell. The subscription button, and the click that thumbs up and leave us a like and a comment, please. We require this feedback. It's until I started this, I did not know how important feedback was to any creative person, anybody who does like content creation. So we need the feedback. Please leave us a like and a comment, subscribe, do all that. Follow the show at MaybePilePod. Follow me on Twitter at KyokuWrites. Tony here at Mummified Tony, and feel free to ask us questions with hashtag AskTheMaybePile. And Tony, do you have anything to add?
No, you pretty much tackled everything perfectly fine.
Fantastic. All right, well, in that case, we will see you all later. Bye-bye.
Later.